Now, when people talk about Sheila E, they call you sexy, they see you in the videos, but they also call you Prince's protege. Now, you've been around before you met Prince. Your father is a musician, you did session work like you talked about. Does that bother you that people always call you Prince's protege?
No.
Has it been an asset?
Yeah.
In what way?
Well, it's helped a lot because, I mean, everybody really enjoys Prince's music, and just to be associated with Prince, it's helped a lot, a great deal.
I read that he totally changed your image.
Not totally.
He just
helped me to come out with it. Backing up other artists like Lionel Richie, Marvin Gaye, they have you to dress a certain way and do certain things in their band. So when I finally went out on my own, I got to do what I wanted, and he reassured me, you can do whatever you want, and that's what I did.
But did he give you the confidence to perhaps wear different kinds of things, do different things with your appearance? Because you have a very unique appearance and you wear very different things than most people. I mean, you don't look like a country music star.
No, the confidence that it gave me actually wasn't in wearing clothes or things like that. It was mainly in my vocals, singing.
What do you think distinguishes you from other rock and roll stars that are out there now? There are a lot of women coming on the scene. What do you do differently?
Nobody plays drums.
Sheila E, born Sheila Escovedo, is a renowned percussionist, singer, and songwriter whose career spans multiple decades. Hailing from a family of musicians, she gained early exposure to the craft and was drawn to percussion instruments, ultimately becoming one of the most famous female drummers in the world. She gained widespread fame for her work with famous musicians and her solo success in the 1980s. Sheila's talents have earned her numerous accolades, but her career, like many, has had its ups and downs. Sheila E was born into a musical family with her father, Pete Escovedo, a well-known percussionist. Her exposure to music at a young age set the stage for her early career. By the age of 19, she was already performing with some of the biggest names in the music industry, including George Duke, Lionel Richie, Marvin Gaye, and Herbie Hancock.
So I've heard your name connected with people like Lionel Richie and Marvin Gaye because you did sessions, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a lot of session work. I started playing actually with Billy Cobham, and he introduced me to George Duke, and I went out on tour with George Duke for like 5 years. And then from then I went on doing a lot of session work and playing with Marvin Gaye on his last tour, and then toured with Lionel Richie.
What was that like? I mean, is it very much you having to go in and just lay down your percussion piece and then leave again, or did you get to know the artists quite well?
Most of the time I got to know the artists. I went back often they would call me back to come and play on other things or play shows with them. So the majority of the people that I did play with, I knew very well.
And did they treat you quite well as session musicians? Because obviously you're talking about very big names indeed.
At first it was really hard. A lot of men drummers really resented me coming in and playing percussion on certain albums, and they got really upset. It was it was like I had to prove myself, to them that I knew how to play. And they put me down a lot. They would say that the only reason why I was there was because I was a girl, because I knew them, and they didn't give me the recognition by saying, okay, you can play. So.
But you managed to overcome that through sheer hard work, supposedly.
Yeah.
Now, as a lot of your fans might know, you're the daughter of legendary Santana percussionist Pete Escovedo. When you were younger, you toured on the road with him, getting your start, I guess, playing drums. How much of an impact did he have on your current style?
My dad or Santana?
Your dad.
If it wasn't for him, I think I wouldn't be playing percussion. He's been a percussionist all his life, and he's had bands since he was about 15. Playing music around the house every day, that's what we grew up listening to. So I think it was just in the blood, and also being gifted, I think, has helped a lot. No one ever really taught us how to play the drums. We just picked it up, or I guess by listening to it every day, and we've never had any lessons. So I think a lot of that has to do with my dad and just being gifted.
One of the defining moments in Sheila E's career was her collaboration with Prince. Their work together started in the early 1980s, propelled her to stardom. She became Prince's drummer and music collaborator, and together they created famous hits such as Erotic City and Love Bazaar. In this interview, Sheila E tells the story of when her and Prince recorded the song Erotic City.
Erotic City was indeed the first thing that you recorded with Prince, or is that just the first thing that we've heard that you recorded with Prince?
It's the first thing you heard recorded by us.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you remember about recording that song?
He called me on the phone and said, come to the studio, Sunset Sound. I live down the street from Sunset Sound, so he called me to come over. He said, we're going to record. Okay. So I show up, and just like we're in the studio here, there was just one mic, vocal mic, and I didn't see any drums, no percussion or drums. So I was thinking, oh, they forgot to, send my stuff, or do we need to rent? What's happening? He said, no, let me play you the song. I want you to sing. I'm like, no, I don't want to sing. He's like, no, you like this song. So he played the song. I was like, dang, that's a good song. Man, that's funky. Oh my goodness. And I was like, okay. I looked at the lyrics and I'm listening to it. I was like, that word right there, I'm not going to say that word. That word, I'm not going to say. You could say it, but I'm not going to say it. So I say funk, F-U-N-K, and you could say the other word. He's like, why don't you want, I'm not saying that word. So anyway, I put my foot down and I didn't say the word, by the way. And so I recorded the song, and I was a little bit nervous, even though, it's not that because it was Prince. It's not because, we were doing a duet. It's like I always got nervous singing in the studio. That was one of my least favorite things to do. I could play drums and no big deal. Yeah, come on, But singing is like, my first record was with my dad. I was 16 years old. So anytime I sang a song in the studio, I'd see the red light and go, So I was just nervous about, that was just me. But when we finally finished it, I was like, yes, this is a funky song. And it's going to be a hit. Yeah.
Her debut solo album, The Glamorous Life, produced by Prince, gave her a global platform with its hit single, The Glamorous Life.
Well, when did you decide to go solo? Because obviously that was a very big move indeed for you, bearing in mind your experience.
I think it was in '83. I was playing with Lionel Richie, and I had just gotten off the tour. I've known Prince for like 8 years, and the day I got off the Lionel Richie tour, he called me in to sing a song with him. And first I thought he was going to call me in to play drums, but he wanted me to sing a song called Erotic City. So I went in and sang that, and we did a whole bunch of other things. We did Apollonia 6's album, and then he said, why don't you just, do your own thing? And I said, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm too scared. And he says, no, you should, because I think that you've been playing behind so many people for so long that it's about time that you go out and do your own thing. And I thought about it a day, and then he introduced me to his management company, and they turned me on to Warner Brothers. And like within a couple of weeks, my album was done, and Glamorous Life started.
Sheila E's follow-up album, Romance 1600, contained the hit single, A Love Bazaar, another Prince collaboration. This track, and her continued solo work in the mid-'80s, cemented her place as a successful solo artist and not just a side musician. She also joined Prince on his sold-out 1985 Purple Rain tour and starred in her first film, Crush Groove. In this interview, Sheila E speaks about her experience working in the film Crush Groove.
Crush Groove put you right front and center of everything, though, and that's when I think a lot of people were like, damn, Sheila E is popping. So talk about the experience of Crush Groove and being in that movie and being on that album and how all of that happened.
And you was rapping.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was interesting. Crush Groove, I had just come off the Purple Rain tour and came straight to New York and did the, making sure that Blair Underwood and I would have a good chemistry, and we did. He was a very nice guy. But it was interesting because I started to do the movie, and I didn't realize at the time there's this East Coast, West Coast rivalry that was happening that
I got thrown into. I had no idea. I didn't know that this was going on. I know that it went on East Coast, West Coast rivalry with Latin music, with the salsa music. There's a rivalry.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
We were back then. It was the rivalry back then.
Oh yes.
With Run DMC and the Fat Boys and all that.
No, I mean I'm
talking about Latin music.
I'm talking Latin music,
Latin music,
but
okay.
but hip hop as well.
Really?
Yes, because when I came in to do Crush Groove, I did Holly Rock and Love Bazaar, and those Holly Rock was written for Crush Groove. But when I came in to do it, you know, we started filming it, and then all the New York rappers. So I'm not gonna name which ones they were.
I don't think they'll be mad now.
It don't even matter. I ain't gonna say their name.
All right.
All I know was they were just hating on me hard. It was really, they disrespected me so badly.
It wasn't Reverend Run, was it?
No.
All right.
I'll say no to that. Okay. No, but they disrespected me so hard that I'm a person that would never quit doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I actually quit the movie.
What?
I quit the movie.
I did not know that.
I quit the movie because I'm like,
What were they doing that was disrespectful?
oh, they were dogging me. Just, you know, who you coming in here trying to rap. But first of all, I was just doing a song because it was for the movie and the whole thing. I'm like, you know, I'm not trying to be something I'm not, but I'm not claiming to be a rapper either. I'm just musically, I love music.
Right.
I love all kinds of music. And it was just, they were just hating hard. It was really, they were throwing shade all day. And not even just them, but the audience when we did Love Bazaar scene in the club. So Michael shows the director, he says, okay, ready? All right, go. You know, we started to play the song. At the end of the song, the audience is supposed to clap. Hey, you know, they were like this.
You are lying.
Wow.
And they just stood there like, they stared at it. It was just.
What a terrible negative
Why?
experience. And when you watch that or when you hear the music, it just sounds so fun and dope. You would never think that
No,
all of
it
that,
was
especially
horrible.
for women, went on behind the scenes.
It was horrible.
And you had nothing to do with anything.
No, Michael just, he said cut, and he turned everybody's like, excuse me, people, you are extras. We're shooting a movie. You're supposed to clap when Sheila's done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and you just, it just got worse. It was horrible. So
Did any
I
of
was
the
like,
artists apologize after that? The years after? But like, you know what? We did you dirty back then. We apologize.
no.
Damn it, man.
No.
Damn, well, they owe you an apology now.
Sheila E's ability to blend Latin rhythms, jazz fusion, pop, and R&B made her a versatile artist who could adapt to various musical styles. She continued to collaborate with diverse musicians, showcasing her staying power in an ever-evolving industry. Sheila E proved herself to be more than just a percussionist. Her talents as a singer and performer allowed her to stand out in the male-dominated industry. Throughout the late 1980s and 1990s, she continued releasing albums and embarked on tours, captivating audiences with her dynamic stage presence and powerful drumming skills. Like many artists who found fame in the 80s, Sheila E faced challenges as musicals' taste changed in the 90s. Though musically rich projects like Sex Symbol didn't capture the same attention as her earlier work, leading to lower sales and visibility. In addition to her professional challenges, Sheila faced personal struggles that affected her work. She dealt with health issues, including severe back problems that nearly derailed her career.
My body went down and shut down. So the first time was my lung collapsed. And it ended up collapsing because it was really acupuncture. This guy went and punctured my lung. My left lung was so crazy.
Note to self.
I know. Just be careful. And he punctured my lung, and I didn't even know. And I was mastering that record at the time. Didn't even know. So I thought I was gonna die. Your lung collapsed. Second thing was my back went out after the Love Sexy tour. And it was from me playing in heels for so long, and playing in heels, it shortened my calf muscle. I turned, so I was partially paralyzed for 2 weeks.
And it took like 4 doctors in 4 months to get me to walk one solid block. So I had to learn how to walk all over again because at first they wanted to do surgery. And I was like, no, that ain't it. That time was like, okay, God, you're showing me something. Yeah.
As a female percussionist in a male-dominated industry, Sheila E faced numerous obstacles. Despite her immense talent, there were times when she had to fight for her recognition and respect in the music world, particularly as a band leader and solo artist.
Did you feel like you faced any sexism in the industry? Because we're hearing a lot of talk about this in Hollywood, and I'm imagining it's, could be happening in the music industry as well.
Oh, absolutely. Before I became Sheila E, just Sheila Escovedo, playing with different artists, offended by men many times and offered sex many times, to the extreme of record deal, if I had sex, a hotel in Vegas with my name on it, a plane. I mean, like, I can't even begin to tell you just the things that were offered to me. And I'm like, are you kidding me, really? There were times where I had to walk away carefully because, the industry politically, what is going on is like, no. And I can say that I can sleep at night and had never done anything, never accepted anything other than me working hard and trying to cut through these barriers of it's a man's world. But yeah, this is crazy, and I think it's about time that people are talking about, especially women, again, disrespect.
The pressure of constantly proving herself took a toll on her. Overcoming these obstacles required significant time and effort, but her resilience allowed her to bounce back. In her book, The Beat of My Own Drum, Sheila E opens up about her struggles with personal relationships, abuse, and the emotional toll of being in the spotlight. She speaks candidly about her experiences with sexual assault and the lasting impact of these traumatic events on her life.
My life is what it means. This is what I've been doing my entire life, beating drums, making music.
It took you said a year to write the book.
A year.
Why so long or short?
Really, I wanted to write it a long time ago in my 30s. A friend had mentioned to me to start telling my story, and I wasn't ready to do it. So my sister-in-law, Sarah, she sat with me and she said, look, if you just tell me your stories, I'll just type it out and we'll look at it. And so she spent almost a year with me.
I know when you write a book, you have to pull so much out from way deep down. What was the hardest part about the book for you?
Remembering things. Once you tell a story, then something else comes up and then it reminds you of another story, and then getting the dates right, or how old was I when it happened, because I'm thinking I was younger or sometimes I was older. I never knew. So I would reach out to my family, the fans, anybody who could tell me, what year was this?
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of your family, your dad, what does he think of the book?
He loved it. He said, good and bad. There was a couple of chapters that he couldn't go through, of course, about the abuse. But he said that there are things about me he did not know.
Your dad?
A lot.
Really?
A lot that he did not know. He said, I thought I knew you. He didn't even specify. He just said, I love you even more. That was wonderful.
Your dad Pete's adorable.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's revisit that about the abuse, because that's such an important part of the takeaway of this book.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the one big thing you want people to get from this? Because you're an advocate for young people.
Well, yeah, definitely. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to write it, because of that being part of my testimony and sharing with people. And really what I want them to take away is if someone is in any kind of situation of abuse, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it may be, abuse is abuse. Go tell someone so that you can start getting help, getting out of the situation.
You talk about that in detail. This is when you were 5 years old by a neighbor upstairs. You told me that your mother can't even read that part. Can she read any of the book? Is your mom?
She tried. She tried to ask me where could I read the book without that being a part of it, but it's intertwined in a lot of the story, coming in and out of what has happened to me, why, I was angry all the time and trying to understand. So I want her to read it and every time we kind of discusses it, she starts to cry. So
Right.
it's going to take some time, but she'll do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
The book is a reflection of her resilience and dedication to her craft, offering readers an intimate look at the woman behind the drums. Sheila E. also uses the book to inspire others to find their voice and follow their own rhythm, regardless of the challenges they may face. Sheila E.'s career is a testament to her talent, resilience, and versatility. From her early days as a young percussionist to her breakthrough as a solo artist with the help of Prince, Sheila's journey has been full of high points, despite the challenges she faced along the way.
Best advice you can give somebody as they move into different phases of their lives, something that you carry with you that keeps you grounded?
Thank God every day. As soon as I wake up, pray. As soon as I go to bed, pray. In between, I gotta pray, because it is, if I didn't have Jesus for real, I'd be a hot mess. When I gave my heart to him, it changed my life, and I realized what was important. And I am not in control. He is, but at least when I can speak to him like I'm talking to you, like it's a personal relationship with Christ. And if I have a bad day and it's like, God, just help me to get through this today, or what advice, just use me as a vessel. I'm a servant. I just want to do good, and I want to be a blessing to someone. That's the only job. I've never had a job in my life, and not a 9-to-5 or anything. My only job now, and has been, is to bless just one person a day. That's all it is. That is my job, and I'm so happy to be that person to have a job like that.
Don't forget to comment below, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.